So I was wondering, could you give us some insight into running a maple product business? What kind of problems do you normally encounter? Is it highly seasonal, like it would suggest to be?
Yeah. So, yeah, you're exactly right. It is highly seasonal. We have to get our harvest in the spring, and well, depending on the spring weather, it can differ in many different ways. I believe 2 or 3 years ago, we started in the 9th of February, and since then, we usually start about 9th of March or second week in March, somewhere right in there. So
Mhm.
we've had really really early years. We've had later years too. So it's all on the demand of the weather. Once those trees start to thaw, though, it's go time. So uh, typically our season runs on for about 2 months. This year it went for only a month, but we had the same yield as always. So it was an extremely busy month that we ran this year.
Yeah, have you experienced dramatic fluctuations year to year? Has there been a trend with global warming, or has your business largely remained the same in terms of yield?
So in terms of yield, it's been generally the same. In terms of global warming and different things like that, it's really tough with the maple syrup thing. Like I said, some years it's 2 months, some years it's a month, some years it's 3 months, some
Mhm.
years we start in February, some years we start in April. So yield wise, we've been about the same. But in terms of, raw product coming in sap, we've been anywhere from 40,000 to 25,000. We end up yielding one way or another the same amount of syrup due to the sugar content in the sap that we get coming in.
Mhm, mhm. And so I'll move on to the coronavirus in a second, but can you just briefly explain how the process of extracting maple syrup works?
Yeah. Yeah, no. So we have a 19-acre woods. We have 2,400 taps on a vacuum line system. There's 7 miles of pipeline out there. So basically, those 7 miles of pipe, they vacuum all into one big tank. From there, we haul what's out of the woods back to our manufacturing facility. From there, we start by going through a reverse osmosis machine, taking out most of the water out of the raw sap. That brings the sugar content to about 20 bricks, which is not exactly percent, but it's pretty close. So we usually start at about anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5 bricks. And then we usually bring it up to 20 bricks of sugar. And then our final maple syrup ends up being at about 66 bricks. So after the reverse osmosis machine, it'll go into the cooker where we boil off the rest of the water. Um, and from there, it basically goes from the cooker either into large drums to be bottled later, or at the start of the season, we like to get the really fresh stuff out to a lot of our retailers. And so we use that to basically bottle right away, straight out of the cooker.